The most important thing about an email is the subject line. We all know email is a great way of keeping in touch with your customers. And the most important thing about the emails that you write is the subject line. If the subject line isn't good enough, people won't open it. And if they don't open it, nothing happens. So we're going to talk about how to write an email subject line and content that gets opened and actioned. You've decided to use email in your marketing so that you can reach out to customers, keep in touch with them, provide value, and also sell to them. The worst thing that you can do is to write some spammy, clickbait subject line. The whole point of email marketing is to build trust so that customers trust what you say, the authority that you have, and the knowledge that you have on the subject. After all, why else would they be buying your product or services? So the thing that we have to watch when we do email marketing is to ensure that the subject line doesn't give them a false impression of what they'll get when they open the email. One of the worst things that you can do is to give them a subject line that has no relation to what you're trying to achieve with the email, because you lose them. And if you lose them, they'll never open an email of yours again. And if they don't open an email, then you've just lost another potential customer. So the first rule of writing a subject line is personalization. People are smart today. They understand the difference between a personalized email and a volume email blast, as they call it. Now, the bottom line for your business, whether you deal with 1 or 1,000 people or 100,000 people, is to make them feel special. Make them feel that you're talking to them directly through your email. So the subject must reflect that. And how we do that is we use personalization. Now the personalization may be their first name, it may be their company name, it may be the industry that they're in, so that they recognize that you're talking to them and you understand them more than your competitors. Remember, a great subject line will get opened. And that's its whole purpose, to get the email open. You can't deliver your content, you can't deliver your message if it never gets open. So I can't stress enough how important the email subject line is, to craft it properly so that it speaks directly to the individual that you're sending it to. Now you may send it to a database of 1,000 names and emails or 1,000 subscribers, but they must feel that you're sending it directly to them and you're speaking to them direct. So the second thing that's important in your email is the content. And every time you write an email, however short or long the email may be, it has to have a start, a middle, and an end. The start is aligning yourself with the reader or the recipient. And how you do this is to show some common ground. So if you have a database of customers, the start or introduction of your email, the connection that you have. The middle of the email is all about the value you're going to deliver. And the end of the email is about the call to action. Now there are many variations of that, and some people like to put a call to action after the introduction and at the end. Some people like to put one call to action. But one of the things that you have to be very aware of is, unless it's a newsletter, now a newsletter may be telling them about different subjects, so you can have different calls to actions to go to different blog posts, articles, or downloads. In general, most emails should have one action. It's a bit like going to a camera shop and they have a row of 30 cameras. How do you decide which one you want? You can narrow it down, but you get to a point where you think, I need to come back to this because it's starting to frustrate me. And it's the same thing. If you ask so many things for them to do, the likelihood is they won't do any of them. So the secret to writing good content and a good call to action is to give them one thing to do. Engage with them at the beginning, align yourself with them at the beginning. In the middle, talk about the value that you're going to give them, and at the end, tell them how they can have that value delivered to them. So now we've dealt with the importance of the subject line and why it's so important, the importance of the structure of your email content, and the importance of the call to action and delivering the solution, value, or benefit. The next video that we're going to go through in this series is about how to write a campaign and how to structure a campaign to take a reader or a recipient or a customer, to take them from point A to point Z. And that journey is obviously to sell your product or service. But it's to allow them to have the right information so that they can make an informed decision that your product or service is the right thing to buy. And how we do this is we go through a series of touch points, and each touch point is a sequence to then deliver deliver value, benefits and solution, make them aware of the values of your product or service, and to ask for a sale. And we'll do that next week. So thank you for watching. If you want to grow your business and attract more customers, then why not subscribe below and ring the bell, and you'll get notified every time I publish a video.